Okay, we're under the hood again with the LT1. And what we're looking for is kind of buried. Hope you can see it back there. Way back there, near where the fuel lines are, and near where the EGR is. Right here. Let's see if I can get down in there. Get you some kind of view here. A lot of stuff in the way. Probably the best view you're going to get. Right here. This is the EGR Solenoid. This is the original. Now we could try to test and all that, but it's such a pain in the butt to get it out of here that I'm just going to change it. It is the original. Almost 185,000 miles. It's basically a matter of getting this connector off. Electrical connector. And there's two vacuum lines in the top, like you saw in the new ones. They run back into the manifold. I've already checked to see if they're in good shape, and they are. One goes to the EGR, of course, and one goes back to the actual vacuum feed. And there's one little screw down at the bottom here that I got to figure out where to undo it from. Okay, you can see I've popped off the connector. It's just a tiny little thing. See if I can get it from this angle. You can see, there it is, just pops off. Standard GM weather pack. And we're going to take a real close look at this connector too. In fact, we're kind of taking a close look at it right now, aren't we? Just to see what condition the wiring's in. See if there's any issues there. It's definitely been sitting there for 25 years. Looks to be good. Get that out of the way for right now. Curve that over there. And we can see, oh, there you go, flopping back in. Right down here, there's the bolt that mounts this thing. You can kind of bend this a little way. It's on its own bracket. Kind of bend this a little bit. Try to give ourselves some clearance. Remember, we bent this to give ourselves some clearance for the fuel lines before. So, all right, I'm not proud of this, but I haven't found any easy way to get that stupid bolt out. It's just totally inaccessible thanks to GM's wonderful engineering. So I'm going to get brutal on it. This is the old one anyway. I'm just going to keep rocking this thing till it comes out. And that'll give me some access to this bolt so I could mount the other one. But this is just bloody stupid. So what I've done also here, as you'll see, is I've gotten the, and let me rock this out of the way here. I've unplugged the vacuum connectors on the other end, right here. You can see that. So I'm not rocking and rolling them. We'll check the condition of those too. It's a good idea. Make sure, you know, this will eventually break loose. I can already feel it. There it is. Got it. And there you can see the vacuum connector's loose there. And here's the old one. Voila. And now we've got, this thing was actually part of it in a way too. We'll be able to have maybe a little easier access to that bolt right here. So, or nut. I don't know why I mix up nuts and bolts, but I do. Anyway, right there. You can see sneaking back there is the EGR. You know that works. Because we pushed on it and the car died. That tells us the passage is working and all that good stuff. Alright. Well, you can see, once with that thing out of the way, we're able to get a wrench on it and get this thing loosened. It's not that tight, it's just a matter of getting it started. So, we'll get this bolt, this nut rather, off of here. And this is by the way, the size here. I don't know if you can see that. .9/16. So, yep, I could finish that. I'm going to try to finish that off the rest of the way. Should have it loose enough now to get it with my hands. But I had to break it off the bracket on the original one to get it loose, to get any room. Otherwise, I was going to be looking at removing fuel lines and all kinds of crap. I'm not going to do that for a frickin' solenoid. Get the rest of the bracket off of here. There we go. There you see? Ta-da! Okay. What I'm looking at here is, this is the old solenoid, EGR solenoid valve, one we had to break off the mount there. This is the new one. By the way, the new one, Standard Motor Products, VS27, V19000 or 19002 as well. It's about 38 bucks on Amazon. 38 to 50 bucks is what you're going to pay, no matter who makes it. But in this case, we're going to do a little test here. Now, this is a basic solenoid valve. So, electric operated solenoid, which means there's a diaphragm in there that's mounted to the front of a solenoid plunger, and all it does is move when there's current applied to it. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a quick little test. We've got this thing currently hooked up. It's got 2 ports. And if you look at the inside of these, you can actually see that one port here has like a brass insert, and the other, there isn't one. The one with the brass insert is actually the one, and if you look back here, you can actually see the solenoid valve. That's the one connected to the solenoid. And that one is the one that usually holds the pressure. This one is usually going to be open to atmosphere when it's not engaged. So, and we'll prove that because we've got the other one hooked up. Got the same ports on here, same orientation. You can see there's the brass in there, brass fitting in there, and we got it hooked up. What we're going to do is we've got it open atmosphere. What we do is when we pump this thing, we should get no pressure. See, we're getting nothing here. Now, when we hook it to the other side, we should get a little different result. Okay, let's get this in the shot here. Now I've hooked it to the other side of the solenoid valve, and I'm going to try to give it some pressure here. And you see it's holding much better. It is falling, but the pressure is holding. Now, if I were to apply a voltage to this, that pressure would bleed off very fast. Kind of like this. Okay, you can see we're holding pressure. I'm going to take this lead. I've got a 12 volt power supply here. Just touch it to the tip. You see? Pressure went gone. Real simple. So it, in theory, appears to be working, but when I test the other one, it seems to be acting a little differently, bleeding a little more smoothly, a little more uniformly. So there might be a pinhole leak in this one that's causing it to not operate as effectively. Like I said, it's got almost 185,000 miles on it, so even if this isn't the problem, it's not a bad idea to replace it. Okay, we've got it all back together inside in there. I don't know if you could see that. There we go. It's all connected back up. Probably seeing a lot of nothing right now. But we got the thing hooked up again. We got the nut back on there, the 9/16 nut. We're just kind of checking to make sure we didn't do any damage to anything in the process of doing this silly job. So just kind of checking things out. I'll show you the wrench that worked best. That one. So basically an ignition wrench, 1/2 inch 9/16, and the 9/16 end seemed to work the best for getting that thing, get it in there, getting it loose. I'll tell you though, I really don't like the GM engineering for that. Anyway, let's see if we've caused any problems, because we're not going to know if it works till it goes through missions again. Alright guys, well that's going to pretty much do it. We'll see if this does has any effect on getting the car through emissions this time. You never know. I know I plugged my OBD1 scanner since it's a 95 into it, ran it and checked a couple of times and revved it up, and I didn't get any codes, so hopefully it's working. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon. El Camino guys out.